Today, I just want to share a story. So I went to Walmart today and I had a list of things that I needed to get, and there were just a few items to grab, and then I need to come back home so that we could continue working on a project. Well, I was on my way in and I noticed one of those blue pavilions set up with a table, and I noticed that the person was selling some items. And normally I don't really always stop because I just have other things to do and not a lot of money to spare. And so I usually kind of just, I don't know, just don't engage. But today I did stop, and the man sitting at the table, I just kind of felt a connection with, and I didn't really know why. So I asked him what he was doing. I thought he was selling things for veterans, and he said that they have a ministry that does reach the veterans, but it's also for people who suffer from depression, addiction, PTSD, suicide, and anxiety. And so it pricked my attention a little bit because there have been some of those things in our family. And so I don't know, I didn't plan to really stop and talk to him, but we ended up talking for maybe 10 minutes. And I found out a little bit more about his story. And Oscar showed me his arms, his wrists, and he told me about the complicated surgery that it took to put back nerves, tendons, ligaments, blood vessels, because he had tried to take his own life a little while back. I don't even know how long, but at some point somebody did reach in and help him after many people passed him by and didn't do anything. And I know that made an impact. And it didn't sound like it made an instant turnaround. It didn't sound like he was really happy initially to have failed his attempt. But several years later, he's sitting at this table and he's reaching out to other people in the hopes that they can bring some help to anybody who is struggling. And so I did share with him that I had two brothers who took their lives at different times. And I told him that I'm 100% sure that there is somebody in his life that is happy that he's still here. And he looked a little uncertain, but you know, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's still here. I'm happy to have met him. So I stood for a little while, and I think the other person working with him might have gotten a little bit antsy, just wondering how long I was going to talk and tie him up from his work at the table. But it just seemed like such a blessing to me, and Oscar was not in a hurry. He didn't seem rushed. He just really seemed like he felt that connection too, and I was reluctant to leave him. He was just 4 years older than my youngest brother would have been, and it's really a challenge to see that this person is a similar age as my brother would have been had he lived. So he gave me a little ticket to give to somebody. It has a QR code on the back. It tells information about their ministry, which is local. It's called Fountain of Hope, Restoring Peace and Joy Through Jesus Christ. So it leaves a phone number, the QR code, and a little bit about their ministry. And so I will be keeping this in my purse to share with anybody who I come across. And I didn't want to take up his time and just talk. I did feel a need that because of the ministry that they're doing, I felt that it would be a really good thing to contribute to that. And so I didn't buy a lot of things. I just bought one thing, and I got this t-shirt, and I got it for my husband, and it says, "Under his wings you will find refuge," from Psalm 91:4. And then it says, "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." It's just a small interaction, but it filled me with hope that the Lord spared him, and now he is reaching out to other people. And it was just a blessing to me to see somebody who's been to the other side and is standing on his feet in the attempts to help other people, because there's so much in the world that is pulling us down, but this is somebody who's trying to pull other people up, and I just really appreciated that. So I went into Walmart and I did my shopping, and I was probably in there half an hour or so, and I came back out and he nodded to me and said, "Have a good day." And I just couldn't help it. I did it for my brothers. I did it for Oscar. I just reached in and I gave him a hug, a big hug, and he gave me a big bear hug. And I knew that this was a connection that was meant to be. I hesitate to say too much of things that you can do, because truly you cannot do anything if somebody has made a choice. You can't save somebody, but you can pray and you can be there, and hopefully things will turn around in somebody's life because you have taken just a moment to reach out and have no regrets. Yeah, I don't want to say this by somehow implying that you or me or anybody can like stop somebody if they're determined, but I will say that sometimes people really are affected by a kind word, a hug, or something encouraging. I appreciated the interaction that I had, and I appreciate meeting Oscar. We'll leave it at that. Have a good day. I really hesitated on how to end this because I did not want to imply that you can control somebody else's behavior. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, and I'm not trying to do that. My main point is that I was truly blessed by the interaction that I had with Oscar, and I believe that he was blessed by having met me too. And that's not to elevate myself. I'm just saying that the Lord puts people in your path, and sometimes you just need that interaction. The interesting thing was, after I gave Oscar a hug, I went to my car and I was really pretty choked up because there was a lot of emotion, and I was remembering my brothers and wishing that there had been a different outcome. And so I got to my car, and oftentimes we keep a book or something encouraging in there. And so I was looking through the things that we had, thinking of what can I give to Oscar that might be an encouragement to him. And honestly, nothing seemed to fit. And I said a little prayer, and I just had peace about letting it be. I just had peace about letting Oscar bless me, letting him minister to me this time without feeling like I needed to go and do something to him. And that sounds kind of strange, but all I can say is that I had peace about it. Didn't feel like I needed to share anything with him in this moment. And so maybe he just needed to understand that he was the blessing today, and he is the one who the Lord is using to minister to somebody else. And I believe that's a tremendous honor that the Lord gave him. And so I am going to be praying for Oscar and his ministry, and I hope that you will as well. And I hope that you will reach out to anybody who you see along your path and just give them a smile. You never know what might bring somebody up and make a difference.